Welcome back to the channel and to the Bradford Golf Club, which ironically is actually in Leeds, but that's neither here nor there. I'm here to try and break par off 2.2. Here's the first hole. Fairly easy start to the course, you might say, except for the OB right and the main road, which you want to avoid. So somewhere over that bunker with a fade would be perfect. Sort of kind of managed that. This is one of the rare courses I've played where they actually iron the greens. Don't know how that works, but they are slick, and that is an understatement. I've missed the fairway left here, but not really in any trouble. A little 80-yard shot, which is usually in my wheelhouse. Or that's what I'd like to think anyway. My game has not been particularly great, but here's our first look at the green. Look where I'm aiming this bad boy. Given that a little tap-tap-taparoo, and it's still dribbled on by with about 4 feet of break, so more of that to come. Tucked that away nicely, and here's the first of several very long par 4s, the second. But before we get into this, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so, otherwise your next tee shot's going to go straight down the middle, but into a divot in the fairway. Unlucky. Hopefully I haven't done that, because I have smashed that down the middle, which I'll take very nicely. Thank you very much. Right in the middle, almost in the centre stripe. This is just a gap wedge playing downhill over the crest here. Aiming it at the flagpole in the distance. Struck that terribly, mind you, and it needs to go. Correct. I'm so far away, this is just crazy. Did practice a lot of these putts on the practice green. Loads of break, downhill, but about 90 feet. Not quite got that there, but not a terrible effort from the front. But that snapped left. Never really looked like going in. Couldn't really fathom out more break, and the first bogey of the day has arrived. Hopefully that early bogey will spark us into life somewhat as we dabble the first par 3 of the day. A rather lovely looking short hole. This is just a gap wedge as the pin's on the front, so it's only playing about 125 yards. I've watched everybody else pull theirs left into oblivion, and the wind dragged mine a little bit, and I've left myself in a very awkward spot here. I'm on a downslope. There's a little dip short of the green, and as I suspected, not really much I could have done there other than roll it 8 feet past. Have to rely on the flat stick. Wow, that was nice. Good par, and we'll segue to the Krent, or my brother, hitting a rope hook. The green's down there to the right centre, pretty much where Paul's now stood. But that's taken a horrid bounce into the trees, and now it's my turn. Just trying to fly this over the bunker on the right that you can see in frame there. This is only a hybrid, and it's 274 yards, but it's all downhill. Slightly downwind off the right, and it should chase down if I get it well. Hit that pretty much exactly where I was aiming, just hoping for a decent bounce, and we might actually get on the green, which isn't bad, although I've managed to end up on the side of a cliff face here and didn't really have much idea what to do, in all honesty. It's pretty firm and fast out here, so I've got the old flat stick or Texas wedge, which I've never understood because the putter is usually used on links greens. But anyway, that was appalling. So we're still miles away and still got the putter. And realistically, if we can get this down in 2, would be alright. But I've totally misjudged the line. Phew. Just about made that. And let's have a look at Paul Morris's swing. Not played as much golf as he'd like recently. And it shows after he's bombed his ping driver straight into the trees up the left. And as we move to my shot, this is stroke index 1, a 451 yard par 4 that plays uphill. Fortunately it's slightly downwind today, but that doesn't make it much easier. Here we go, big stick in hand, need a good one, otherwise bogey is definitely on the cards. And that is very nice indeed. Just scooting up the right hand side, but we'll take it, and it's ended up about 150 yards away, so this is a 9-iron. Honestly, the pin's quite a long way right here, so just trying to hit the middle of the green and hope for the best. And that's 2 decent shots in a row, no complaints whatsoever. But again, God only knows where I'm having to aim this. It almost looks sideways on screen. Look at the amount of rip on that putt. I did unfortunately hit it too hard, so yet again clean-up job required. But yes! So not a bad start, but no fireworks as yet. Maybe an opportunity here though on this shortish 6th hole. 345 yards and just need a good drive and we'll be in A1 position. And there it is, just what we needed. The patented Johnny Plays Golf 10-foot cut. Aim it up the left and hope to God it comes back. Unfortunately, I've left myself a bit of an awkward yardage with this pin on the frontish right. Bunker sort of in your eye line, if nothing else. And I've kind of left that short. Was hoping for better, shall we say. 25 feet then for birdie. Scared to death of these ironed greens, whatever that actually means. So I've left it short, but a steady par. And we've made our way to stroke index 3. This hole plays uphill all the way, and it's just a miserly 433 yards on the card. Horrible looking hole for my fade, so I'm trying to hug the tree line on the left. Doesn't look great from that. I've left it right. It's actually fine, but I'm a long way away. And this is a very thick lie considering I'm only about a yard into the first cut and I've got a 7-iron in. Anything close to on the green would be spectacular here. Pins as far back right as you can possibly get, almost falling off the green. And I've done quite well to get it to here, but this is extremely difficult. It's like chipping onto glass, and it's all downhill and sloping away, and look at that bad boy. It actually had a look in on the way past, but that won't go in either, and that's the second bogey of the day. Not a massive surprise making a bogey on that hole because it is extremely difficult, but hopefully we can come back here. Uphill par 4, only 336, but because of the slope up, probably plays a little bit longer. Just trying to pump driver over the bunker you can see in the distance on the left. But I've flared it out right for the second time in 2 holes and I've missed the fairway. And I'm right on the limit here. This has to be a flop shot with the pin front right and a bunker guarding it. Given that everything I can give it, possibly. And it's basically gone in. So I'll just tap in for birdie and we're back. Finally something to celebrate as we move to the last hole of the front 9 and last hole of this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to slap a like and subscribe if you're not already, because it is free and it really helps me out. And we're going to make birdie on this hole. It's 466 yards, so it's essentially a long par 4 that we played earlier. But it's a par 5. Bonus. Melted that one down the centre again. The little cut working nicely for me off the tee. Might as well just stick to it. And we just have a 7-iron into this green. Probably needed 110% of the 7-iron. Or one of those rogue ones that I sometimes get that goes 20 yards further than normal. But didn't get it today. Realised it was into the wind. But this is a relatively regulation up and down. Or it would have been if I hadn't duffed my chip. That's frustrating. Hopefully I can make this. Let's have a look. TaylorMade Tour Response striped straight in the middle and a birdie. And 2 on the trot brings us back to level, and that's actually quite a nice front 9 in the end. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week for the back 9. Goodbye.